Alright, hey guys, so today we're finally going to be doing the Combat 50 showcase. We are also going to try to show off Foraging 50, which we do not have, but we are able to simulate it by making use of the Weird Tuba and the Overflux Power Orb. Since together they give 55 strength, which is about 28 foraging levels. Only one less strength, which should be fine. Now, let's take our first hit with the Midas. 143k. So that's a pretty good hit. We are in the tux. I will do a test without the tux as in full superior, since it's pretty unrealistic to be making use of the tux, but the tux will just be to show off how hard we can hit. So 143k with the Midas. We also brought out the Repulsion, since this sword can give you the highest damage possible currently with a single hit that's not making use of Giant Slayer, Execute, because the numbers we get could be a lot higher. If there was a higher health zombie, like 500k health zombie or something, we could get a lot more damage. Especially the zombie's not low either. So we're not showing off really Execute or Giant Slayer damage. It's just showing off the raw power of the sword. So one hit from the Repulsion, about 250k, which is a pretty good hit. We have not popped buffs yet. Let's put down the Overflux and the Weird Tuba. So one hit with the Midas now is about 163k, which is significantly higher. One hit with the Repulsion now does, if it can show up, 290k. So about 300k. So now we're going to repop the buff. You can also make use of sword swapping, right? Sword swapping did an even higher hit. If it can, the number can actually show up. 333. Actually would have a really nice hit right there. 500k. If we were able to sword swap perfectly with that hit, we could have the ideal number. But a 500k hit is really good. Like, it's kind of insane to think that we can hit that hard with one attack. But the fact that it needs a literally ideal scenario for it to go through is kind of unfortunate, but 500k, that's about 3 hits on a T4 Slayer boss if you're making use of sword swapping. Even then, like with the Reaper Scythe, like it does about 30% of your stats. A normal hit from us right now does what, 250k? So there you could literally spawn 5 clones doing like 80k each. That is really good. So now we're going to go test with Superior, which the numbers are going to be a lot lower, unfortunately. But that's exactly what's going to happen when this set isn't really damage boosting to that level that Tuxedo is. They really should buff Tuxedo, but anyway. We're going to do the whole Midas, then Repulsion, and then we're going to test with both buffs. So base hit with Superior. 96k? That's pretty good. It was about 50k lower than the Tux, which is reasonable. But almost able to hit 100k in one hit. Pretty solid. Repulsion, 170k. That is still a really good hit. Like, a really solid hit, considering you're not really giving up any of your, defenses. You're still really tanky. And the fact you can hit that hard is really good. We're going to test with both buffs. Alright, Midas now does 107k, which, oh, it's not much of an improvement, only about like 10k. Reaper Sword, up to almost 200k now, which, as you know, the number goes up, it kind of just like scales even more because the number's even higher. But it feels kind of weak. 200k, I mean, that's about a little lower. Like when we do the sword swap, 300k. So that's 190k less. So that's actually like a considerable jump. So it's about exactly 169k less than a Tuxedo weapon swap with everything active. So the numbers are pretty high. And since you have to make use of the weapon swap almost perfectly, like every time, which I'm sure if you're doing it enough, you do it probably perfectly. But it does make a pretty big difference. You can hit 140k more with a weapon swap. But a base hit of this much is pretty good. Like, currently not many things will survive more than 10 hits from that. There are a few mobs like the spider which would survive like a Midas hit. Like the spider would take 24 hits. Again, this is not including execute or giant slayer, so really hard to say. Like the damage, you could probably get it up to like 900k if the mob has enough health. We will actually get to see these numbers hopefully get even, even better once we see new Slayer mobs like the Revenant one that's coming that has like 6-7 mil health, because it has enough health to actually survive a few hits, and we could actually try out like group Slayer where you have like a teammate in Tux killing off a mob like really quick. I can't wait to see that because that'll be really interesting, especially if they implement like an even higher tier that requires multiple people. But anyway, thank you guys. If you guys watched this damage showcase, it was pretty cool to see. We were hitting about the numbers we expected to hit. If we had foraging 50 though, excluding, if we use Weird Tuba, Overflux with foraging 50, the max damage hit with a weapon swap should be about 550 to 560k, which I believe that's pretty good. Like, that's the best we can get. And in Superior, we can hit up to 330k, which that's more than I thought we could even hit, really. It's just, you gotta, put a little elbow grease into it. But foraging, definitely worth getting up as well, along with your combat, since combat's really easy. And I'm sure you guys definitely know how it's easy since people were talking about it a lot. But yeah, thank you guys if you guys stay through for this. Take care, guys. Bye.